Good morning, dear yogi, or how about good day? It's probably more appropriate. Today we're going to do a yoga class focusing on hip openers. Now, it would be good if you could have a strap and a blanket and perhaps a bolster, but not essential. So just, if you do have a bolster, place it gently under your hips and come into a nice comfortable seated position. Begin to focus on your breath. Just notice your inhalations and exhalations. Perhaps observe the breath flowing over your upper lip as you exhale, and then moving over your lip as you inhale. Just bring your full awareness to your breath. Allow it to ground you, to be in this present moment. If you're breathing through your mouth, now begin to just breathe through your nose. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. On your next inhalation, send your arms out to the side, stretch out through your arms and bring them up towards the ceiling as you inhale. And then exhale, lower your palms down towards the floor, stretching through your fingertips. Inhale, sending your arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lowering them back down. Do this one more time. Inhale, lifting the arms up. And exhale, lowering back down. Bring the arms up one more time. Inhale. And this time lower your right arm down. You can come down onto your elbow if possible, otherwise just your palm of your hand on the floor. And then exhale, stretch over to the right side. Feel a nice stretch down your left side. Inhale, bring your right arm up. And exhale, lower your left down, coming onto your elbow if you'd like. Stretching over to the left side. Inhale, come up. We'll do one more on each side. Exhale, palm or elbow onto mat, coming over to the right side. Inhale, come up. And exhale, left arm down, elbow down if you'd like. Inhale up. And exhale, bring your palms to heart center. If you're on a block, then just release it to the side. Come onto your hands and knees, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going to do some cat-cow. Just wake up our spine. Inhale. Arch your spine towards the floor. So draw your belly button towards the floor. Take your gaze up and open your chest towards the front or side of your room. And exhale. Tuck your chin, round your spine, push away from the mat. Really feeling distance in between your shoulders. Inhale, arch your spine, draw your belly towards the floor, take your gaze up, bring your shoulder blades together. 2 more times. Exhale, tuck your chin around your spine. Now you can just gently move your spine from side to side if you like, just waking it up. Inhale, take your gaze up, open the chest, arch the spine. And exhale, tuck your chin around the spine. Draw your shoulder blades away from each other. And come to a neutral position. Inhale, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to thread your right arm through your left, bringing your right shoulder and right ear to the mat. Stretch through your fingertips. Engage your whole arm. Inhale, lifting the arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, back down. Coming over to the left arm. Inhale, lift up. Open the chest towards the side of the room. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right. Coming down onto your left shoulder and ear. Stretch through your fingertips. Energize your hand. And exhale, lifting back up and coming to a neutral position. Sit your pelvis back down into your heels. Stretch your hands out in front of you and draw your forehead towards the floor. into extended child's pose. If at any point during this class you want to come down to child's pose, then by all means do so. It's your body, you know your limitations. If you need a break, then just take a break. Well, especially when you're watching this video, no one's going to see you, so it doesn't matter. From extended child's pose, we're going to scoop our chest forward into half cobra. So really keep your chest low, your elbows close to your body, scoop forward in between your hands, point your toes, inhale to halfway, half cobra. So try to release your palms off the floor and just use your lower back muscles. Exhale, push back to extended child's pose. I'm going to do this one more time. Inhale, scoop your chest in between your hands, coming into that half cobra, just using your lower back muscles. And exhale, push back to extended child's pose. Come back up onto all fours. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath wrists. Before we move into downward facing dog, I just want to explain the correct placement for your hands. So you want to make sure that your index fingers are parallel, pointing towards the front of the room. Your fingers are spread wide, and you push into the triad part of your hand, so that's your index knuckle coming down to your bottom of your thumb and up to your thumb. This allows you to evenly distribute your weight on all four corners of your palms, just to protect your wrists during downward facing dog. So now make sure you've got that alignment nice. Tuck your back toes, lift your pelvis towards the ceiling, keep your knees slightly bent, and push your sit bone towards the back of the room. Now we're just waking up our legs, our hamstrings. So you can walk the dog by gently lowering one knee towards the floor, straightening the opposite leg, and then going to the opposite side. So lowering the other knee, straightening the other leg. Just walking the dog, waking up our legs. Just warming ourselves up as we prepare for this practice. Rise high on the toes, look up, step in between your hands, and come into a halfway lift. Draw your chest away from your hips. You can place your fingertips on the mat or on your shins in front of you. Now exhale, bend your knees slightly. We're going to bring our feet about a hip distance apart. How you can tell is by placing two fists in between your hands. Now keeping your knees slightly bent, release your torso forward, letting gravity just draw your head towards the ground. Place your hands on either side of your elbow, so place your hands on your opposite elbow. Relax your head and shoulders. Just stay in this folded position. Now you don't need to have straight legs here. The aim is to just maintain contact with your lower torso and your upper thighs. And eventually our legs will become straighter as we get more flexible. Exhale, release your arms slowly, keeping your chin to last, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming into a standing position. Inhale, drawing your shoulders up towards your ears, and exhale, back down. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, down. Very good. Now we're going to continue our warm-up by going through a few sun salutations. The first one I'll go through slowly and move through it step by step, and then the other ones will go with more of a flow. Bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart at the front of your mat. Inhale, send your arms out to the side, bringing them up towards the ceiling, stretching through your fingertips. Exhale, keep your core nice and engaged, back straight, bend at the hips, and come into a forward fold. Releasing your head and shoulders, releasing any tension you might feel. Inhale, halfway lift. So trying to be like a tabletop from side on, extending your chest away from your hips. Exhale, bend your knees, place your hands either side of your feet, and step back into high plank. Now there are two options here, moving from high plank to low plank. We're going to do option 1 first. Keep your elbows close to your body, scoop your chest down towards the floor, point your toes, inhale to up with a half cobra like we did before. Exhale, tuck your toes, come back up onto your knees, push your hips back to downward facing dog. So now that's option 1. Moving through to option 2, come back to high plank, and then shift your shoulders just in front of your wrists. Keep your elbows nice and close to your body, bending them to a 90-degree angle. Inhale to upward facing dog. So point your toes, lift your thighs and kneecaps off the mat, really draw your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, roll over the toes to downward facing dog. So now there are those two options you can choose anytime we're going from high plank to low plank. We'll just stay in this downward facing dog for a few breaths. Now just take note of your hand placement. Are your fingers spread wide? Are you pushing into that index knuckle? Your legs don't have to be straight. They can be slightly bent. But just try and draw your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, rise high on the toes, look up, step in between your hands into that halfway lift. Really lengthening your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms out to the sides, coming up. And exhale, palms to heart center. Very good. Now we'll move that through that sequence with a little bit more fluidity. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Nice straight back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back into high plank. Now you can do option 1 or 2 here. I'm just going to do option 2. Coming down to low plank. Inhale, coming up. And exhale to downward facing dog. Again, always note your hand placement. We want to protect our wrists here. And to try and create distance between your shoulders by just curving your armpits towards each other. So we're drawing our shoulders, broadening our shoulders and our back. So we're not hunched up in the shoulders. Inhale, lift your right leg towards the ceiling, toes pointing down, really energize through the leg. Don't let it just hang there. Exhale, place your foot in between your hand. Now this is the time where you might want to get the blanket, just for a bit of softening for your knee, for your left knee. You can place that down. Inhale, come up. So your legs are at a 90-degree angle, both of them. Just tuck your tailbone slightly. Bring your palms to heart center. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. And exhale, bring your left elbow to right knee, twisting over to the right side. Inhale, come to the front. Exhale, hands either side of the front feet. Step back to downward facing dog. Keep that blanket there, because we're going to move on to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg, toes pointing down. Really push into your heel, engage the whole leg. And exhale, step it in between your hands. Lowering your knee down onto the mat or blanket if you'd like. Come up. So you're at 90-degree angles. Tuck your tailbone slightly, feel a nice stretch down your front thigh. Palms to heart center. Lengthen your spine. And exhale, right elbow to left knee, twisting over to the left side. Inhale, come to the front. Exhale, place your hands either side of the front foot, step back to downward facing dog. Now you might want to remove this blanket as we just stay in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. And exhale, place it in between your hands, leaving your back heel raised. We're coming into a warrior 1 variation. Just helps protect your lower back. So that makes your hips square towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, relax your shoulders. This is a warrior pose, so it's nice and strong. Your legs should be engaged and arms energized. Exhale, lower your hands towards the floor. Inhale, lift them up. We'll do this 2 more times. Exhale down. Focus on your breath. Inhale up. 1 more time. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale. Place your hands either side of your front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Again, noting your hand placement. Bending your knees slightly, drawing your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, lift your left leg towards the ceiling. And exhale, step it in between your hands, leaving your back heel raised for warrior 1. Come up. Engage both your legs. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders. And exhale, lower the arms down. Again, we'll do this 3 times. Inhale, come up. Allow yourself to concentrate on the breath. Allow it to bring you some peace and calm to the mind. Exhale down. So one more time, coming up. Inhale up. And exhale, lowering down, placing your hands either side of your front foot, stepping back to downward facing dog. Rise high on your toes, look up, step in between your hands into that halfway lift. Now we're just going to engage our legs for a little bit here. So bring your big toes together, your heels slightly apart. So ideally your knees should be touching. It helps give you a little bit of support as we move into chair pose. Sit back into an imaginary chair. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling, pinkies drawn towards each other. And just sit here, just for a few minutes. It's not really sitting, it's just as if you're about to sit in a chair and someone says, nope, can't do that, it's my chair. So just hovering there. Inhale, come up. And exhale, palms to heart center. So being at the front of the mat, we're going to step our right foot back a good leg's distance. Bringing our right foot at a 45-degree angle. And then lining up our front heel with the inner arch of our back foot as we prepare for warrior two. Push into the outer edge of your back foot and really push into the ball of your front foot. So it's like we're trying to rip the mat in half with our legs. Stay nice and strong. Inhale, send the arms towards the front and back. Take your gaze over your front finger. And breathe. It's obviously a very important aspect of yoga. Exhale, lower your left arm onto your front thigh. Draw your back arm down alongside your body, up past your ear, palm facing down for an extended side angle. You should feel a nice stretch down your right side. You can go a little bit deeper if you'd like by placing your front hand on the inside of your front foot. Or, if you'd like, you can come into a full bind by bringing your front arm underneath your front thigh, your back arm behind your back, and clasping your hands together. Keeping your chest nice and raised. Exhale, release your arms, come back up to warrior two. Sink a little bit deeper this time. Inhale, extend your hand towards the front of the mat. Exhale, lower your back arm down your back leg, lift your front arm up and towards the back of the room for a reverse warrior. And exhale, cartwheel, not cartwheel the hands, sorry, bring your hands parallel once again. Now we're going to pivot our left foot so you're facing the camera. Not the camera, I'm facing the camera, you'll be facing the screen. So we're coming slower, our feet are slightly pigeon-toed. Bring your hands on your hips for a wide-legged forward bend. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward, keeping your back nice and straight. Coming into a tabletop position, you can release your hands and allow your torso to just draw towards your thighs. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can bring your hands in line with your toes and use your hands to just help you go slightly deeper. As you inhale, gather strength, and as you exhale, just release and relax. Don't hold any tension in your neck. Inhale, come to that tabletop position once again. Place your right hand underneath your chest, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. You can stay here if you'd like, or bring your right hand on the outside of your left ankle. And draw your torso closer to your thigh if possible. Inhale, come to the front, left hand under the chest, lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling. And if you'd like to go a little deeper, bringing your left hand on the right ankle. Inhale and exhale, release down. Fold forward one last time. Inhale, bend your knees, place your hands on your hips. Take a deep inhalation. Coming up to a standing position. Now we're going to pivot our right foot towards the back of the mat. So our left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Again, make sure that our right heel is in line with the inner arch of our back foot. Pushing into the outer edge, the knife edge of our back foot. Pushing into the ball of our front foot. Make sure that you can see your big toe in front of your front knee. Inhale, lift the arms parallel to the mat. Take your gaze over your right arm. And breathe once again. Engage your leg as if you're trying to rip the mat in half. You're strong like a warrior. in your legs, and also energized in your arms. Exhale, release your right arm on your right leg. Draw your back arm down alongside your body, past your ear once again with that extended side angle. Keeping your shoulder nice and close to your ear, palm facing down. You can stay here if you'd like, or bring your right hand on the inside of your right leg. Or if you'd like to go even deeper, you can come into a full bind by bringing your front arm underneath your front thigh, back arm behind your back, clasping your hands together. Exhale, release whatever pose you're in now. Come back up to warrior two. And exhale, just sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, extend your hands towards the back of the mat. Exhale for reverse warrior, drawing your left arm down your left leg, lifting your right arm up towards the back. It's hard to know what is back and front, but you get my drift, I hope. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Pivot your feet once again for that wide-legged forward bend. This time, we're going to clasp our hands together behind our back. So interlace your fingers, place them behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades together, lengthen your spine. Fold forward once again. This time, lifting your hands up over your head as much as possible and drawing them towards the floor. This is a nice shoulder opener, especially if you do a lot of office or computer work. We can have a lot of tension in our shoulders from that. So this can hopefully release some of that tension. Exhale, release your hands. And one more time, just fold a little deeper. Bend your knees, place your hands on your hips, take a deep inhalation, come back up to a standing position. Bring your right foot to meet your left, the front of the mat. Very good. This is where we're going to use our block if you have one, or just maybe a hard cushion or something that you can place your hand on. So bring your block on the left side. I'll just do it here, on the left side of your left foot, coming into half moon. So bringing your weight into your left foot, step your right foot back, about half a leg's distance. Bring your weight into that left leg. You can tilt over, take hold of your block, lift your back leg up so it's parallel to the floor. Hands on your hips. And you want to stack your hips on top of each other. Like so. Now if this is comfortable and you feel like you're stacked, so there's a nice straight line from your right hip down to your left, you can lift your right arm up to the ceiling. So it's like you're trying to ground down you are grounding down with your left leg and simultaneously lifting up. So you're pushing your body down and lifting it up. You can feel a nice opening in our hips. Exhale, bend your front leg. Gently place your right leg down. Come up to a standing position. Bring your right leg to meet your left. And now we're going to place, I'm just going to shift the other way. I'm going to place our block on the right side of our right leg. Step your left foot back, about a step distance. Bend your right leg. Place your hand on the block if that's easier for you. Straighten your right leg. Shift your weight into it. Lift your left leg parallel to the mat so that your hips are stacked on top of each other. You can place your hand on your hips, and if that feels okay, you can lift your arm up towards the ceiling, grounding down into your right leg, and also lifting your left arm upwards. And exhale, bend your front knee, stepping back, stepping to the front of the mat, and placing your block just to the side. We'll go through one more sun salutation. Inhale, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the chest towards the front of the mat. Exhale, step back into that high plank. Now, option 1 or 2 here once again. I'm going to do option 2. Exhale to low plank. Inhale to upward dog or half cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, rise high on the toes, look up, step in between your hands into that halfway lift. Really draw your chest towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold forward. Now once again, bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. We're coming into the chair pose. So sit back into an imaginary chair. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Tuck your tailbone slightly, draw your pinky towards each other. And breathe. Inhale, come up. Bring your palms together. Now step, I'm just going to face you this time. Step your right foot back, about a leg distance, or 3/4 of a leg distance. Draw your right hip towards the front of the room. So your legs are on kind of two separate lines. They're not lined up like in Warrior Two. Lengthen your spine. There are two options here. You can do reverse prayer behind your back, so placing your palms together behind your back, or if that's a little tricky, just bringing your hands on your elbows. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold forward, tilting at the hips. Once you get to about halfway, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, just fold forward a little further. Inhale, come up, bend your left knee slightly, come up. Step your right foot to meet your left. And now send your left foot back about 3/4 of a leg distance. Again, making sure that left hip is drawn towards the front of the room. Lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold forward, keeping your spine nice and straight. Coming to that halfway point, lengthen once again, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend your right knee, coming back up. Step in your left foot to meet your right. Release your arms. You can give them a little bit of a shake. If you're in reverse prayer, your wrists might be a little bit, well, they'll be feeling it. So bring your feet to the outer edge of the mat, toes pointing outwards as we come into yogi squat. Bring your palms to heart center. And exhale, track your knees over your toes and just bend down into a squat. Bring your elbows to the outer edge or the inside of your knees. You can use them to just gently open your hips. You can do a few figures of 8s with our hips, moving from one side and then the other. Release your hands. Come onto your hands and knees once again. Tuck your toes. Bring your wrists underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes and move back into downward facing dog. Make sure that your hands are placed nice and securely, because we're going to do a little bit of core work here. You want to make sure that you're protecting your wrist. So inhale, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, lift your leg up high. And exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, one more time each side. Exhale to right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale to left elbow. Inhale up. And exhale to knee. Inhale up. Exhale, place your right foot on the outside of your right hand, lowering your knee back down. Come onto the knife edge of your foot. I'll just come down around and demonstrate. Come onto the knife edge of your foot. So we're sending our knee towards the right side, opening up the hips. You can stay here if you'd like, or come down onto your elbows and just move your hips around. Find a nice sweet spot and focus your energy there, just releasing and relaxing as you exhale. We'll hold this for 3 breaths. Just concentrating on releasing the tension you feel in your hip. Allowing your hips to sink a little deeper every exhale. Inhale, if you're on your elbows, come back up onto your hands. And then place your foot back 2. Then bring your knee back, coming onto all fours, and then pushing back up to downward facing dog. And we're going to do that on the other side now. So lift your left leg towards the ceiling. And exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale to nose. Inhale. One more time each side to left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale to right. Inhale up. And exhale to nose. Inhale up. Now this time we'll place our left foot on the outside of our left hand, lowering our back knee down, coming onto the knife edge of your left foot, sending your knee to the left side. Once again, you can come down onto your elbows if you'd like, and just move your hips around, finding that sweet spot, focusing your energy there. We'll hold this for 3 breaths. Nice controlled inhalations and exhalations. Just letting your hips sink a little deeper. If you're on your elbows, come back up onto your hands and then place your foot back behind you, coming into that tabletop position once again. And now we're going to move in through pigeon, which is a lovely hip opener. So bring your right knee in front of your right wrist and draw your right ankle in line with your left wrist. Straighten your left leg. So you might need to wiggle it back slightly. Point your toes. This is also when a mat comes in handy. Not a mat, a blanket. Or a block, either one. So you might want to roll up your blanket. So when you're in pigeon, like so, roll up your blanket and place it underneath your right hip. So this just saves you from sinking over towards the right side. Lengthen your spine towards the ceiling, and then exhale, just gently fold forward, drawing your forehead towards the floor, your fists, or whatever's most comfortable. And once again, we're using our breath to really release any tension. And we do hold a lot of emotion in our hips, so if you do feel a little bit emotional after this class, that's totally normal. It's probably a good thing to release. So hold this for 3 more nice long inhalations and exhalations, just allowing your hips to just sink a little deeper, to open a little further. Inhale, come back up. Now if you have any knee troubles, then just stay here. Otherwise, bring your right hand in front of your chest, bend your left knee, take hold of the inside of your ankle, kick back into your left hand, and if you'd like, or if you can, then release your front arm. If that's okay, do the thumbs up, take your thumb towards the ceiling, and your gaze towards your thumb. Hold this for 2 breaths. And exhale, release your arm and leg. You can just place the blanket to the side. Shift your weight onto your right hip. I'm going to swing the left leg around, placing it on top of our right knee. If this is a little bit uncomfortable, you can straighten your right leg out in front. Just have your knee bent, left knee bent. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Extend your arms out to the side. You're going to bring the right arm underneath the left. Bend your elbows and then twist your hands towards each other so they come into a clap. Inhale, lift your elbows up towards your face. You can feel a nice stretch in your shoulders. Exhale, release. Fold your torso over your knees. You might feel a slightly different stretch in your right hip. Inhale, come up. Place your left hand behind your left hip. Lengthen your spine, right arm on the outside of your left knee, twisting over to the left side. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, just twist a little deeper. Inhale, come to the front. Come back onto all fours, and we'll do the other side. So draw your left knee towards your left wrist, then your left ankle in line with your right wrist. Straighten your right leg, I'm just going to pivot over this way. Once again, if you use a block or a rolled up blanket, just place it underneath your left hip to give you a little bit of height. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Make sure that your hips square towards the front, and exhale, fold forward. Drawing your forehead towards the mat. Holding this for 3 nice long inhalations and exhalations. Allowing your muscles around your hips to relax as you release that tension every exhalation. Just focus on relaxing. Inhale, coming back up. Once again, if you've got knee troubles, just stay here. Otherwise, place your left hand in front of your chest. Bend your right knee. Taking hold of the inside of your ankle with your right hand. Kicking back into your hand. So you're kind of drawing your torso up. You can release your hand if possible. If that's cool, thumbs up. Take your gaze up towards your thumb. 2 breaths. And exhale, release your hand. Release your leg, place the blanket to the side, come onto your left hip, swing your right leg around, placing it on top of your left. Once again, if that's not possible, you can straighten out your left leg, bend in your right knee. Inhale, extending, inhale, extend the arms out to the side. Bring your left arm underneath your right. Bend your elbows, interlace your arms. Draw your elbows towards your face. And exhale, release. Bring your torso over your upper thighs. Inhale, come up. Place your right hand behind your right thigh. Extend, lengthen lengthen your spine. Place your left arm on your right knee. Twist over to the right. Twist behind you. Inhale, extend, lengthen, and exhale, release. Inhale, come to the front. Place any props to the side. Uncross your legs. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Draw your knees towards the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Place your elbows on the inside of your knees. And exhale, fold forward. Drawing your knees towards the mat. Inhale, come up. And exhale, left foot to the left side. Bring your right foot into your groin. This is when you might need a strap. If you have a strap handy, then just place it over the ball of your foot. Inhale, lengthen your spine. So keep your spine nice and straight. And draw your lower abdomen towards your upper thighs. We're not arching over. We want to kind of keep our shoulders drawn towards each other. And exhale, fold forward. Again, just focusing on your breath. Allowing it to help you go deeper in the stretch. Hold this for 3 breaths, nice conscious inhalations and exhalation as you go a little deeper every breath. And your next exhalation, release the strap, come back up. And exhale, draw your left hand down your left leg, lifting your right arm up and over. Drawing your hand towards your left toes. Keep your chest nice and raised towards the ceiling. Inhale, come up. Now, right leg towards the right side, bringing your left foot into your groin. Once again, the strap can be handy here. Placing it over the ball of your foot. Inhale, lengthen your spine, keeping it as straight as possible, drawing your lower abdomen towards your upper thigh. And exhale, fold forward for 3 breaths. Focus on releasing and relaxing. At the end of your next exhalation, release the strap, place it to the side. Draw your right arm down your right leg, lift your left arm up and over, palm facing down, drawing it towards your right toes. Open the chest. Inhale, come back up. And as we prepare for Shavasana, we'll have one last twist. So make sure you have a blanket handy. It is very important to stay on for at least a few minutes for Shavasana. Allow your body to recover and rejuvenate after today's practice. So come down into a lying position. Bend your right knee. Take hold of it with your left hand. Draw it over to the left side. Extend your right arm. Take your gaze over your right arm. Hold this for 2 breaths. Inhale, release your leg. Bend your left knee, drawing it over to the right side. Extend your left arm. Take your gaze over your left arm for 2 breaths. And exhale, release. If you'd like to place a blanket over you, now's the time. Otherwise, just extend your arms out. Place your palms facing up alongside your body. And consciously bring your awareness to your feet, your legs, your upper thighs. As you inhale, tighten them, scrunch up your feet, engage your thighs, and then exhale, just release and relax. Inhale, bringing your awareness to your core, your lower back. Engage it as you breathe in. And exhale, release and relax. Moving into your right arm. As you inhale, scrunch your hand into a fist. Engage your whole arm. Exhale, release and relax. Coming over to your left. Scrunch your hand into a fist, engage your whole arm, and exhale, release and relax. Moving into your face, scrunched up tight, close your eyes as tight as possible, and then exhale, release. Gently move your jaw from side to side, and allow your whole body to become completely relaxed. Become aware of your body again. Gently wriggle your fingers and toes. Inhale, stretch your hands above your head. Stretch into your fingers down to your toes. And exhale, rolling onto your right side. Slowly coming up to a seated position. Thank you for joining me for today's class. Namaste and have a nice day.